What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here for monthly Gemrate numbers. That is right. Our old pal Gemrate has come to us this fine November day with October numbers, and they are intriguing. Absolutely intriguing. We have PSA clocking in with their pretty much usual 1.2 million. That basically seems to be about where they sit. We have CGC with an absolutely massive month at 272,000. A bulk of that being on the TCG side. We will dig more into that number in a minute. SGC, 129,000. That is a record high for SGC. So that new pricing tier of $15 a card seems to be paying off as SGC puts up their biggest month ever. And then even little old Beckett, a 22% increase month over month, 44% up year over year, coming in fourth place at 75,000. SGC's up 60% over the year. PSA's up 15% year over year. And CGC is up 100% year over year. But once again, we got some questions about that CGC number. We got some questions. We did a little digging on that one. We'll circle back to that one, like I said. So, I speculated in yesterday's video, will grading slow down? It seems like the next domino to fall. Not yet. The grading companies say, not so fast, my friend. We are churning as we have record months all across the board here. I guess grading is just impervious. Are we all addicted to grading? Are we addicted to sending cards into another human being or a machine to tell us what condition it is in? I feel like we're addicted to it. It is fun. I get it. Packaging up the card, sending it off, refreshing the page 5 times a day. Then you get the order back and it feels all like Christmas. You're all excited. Yeah, new cards. Woo. It feels like that way sometimes because I don't know. Some of these numbers are just absolutely insane. Where is all this plastic going? I feel like someone next year at the National should build they should take their booth and just build a little Tyke's house out of PSA slabs or something. Like just buy the cheapest slabs in the world and make a play area out of PSA slabs, or a house or a fort. I don't even know. Like a box fort, but out of PSA slabs. It's getting crazy out there. Let's look at some individual numbers here, and that's where things get a little bit more interesting. On the sports side, PSA actually down 10% year over year, which is a little intriguing. SGC clocking in second place with 112,000. Beckett, third place with 35K. The big takeaway here is, yikes, the CGC number at 17,000. That is rough. Down 69% from last month. I know I just actually had an order pop with them. I should be getting that back here shortly with some Tops Now cards in it. So you should be seeing a reveal video on that here in the next, week or so. We'll see when we get those back in hand. But that is rough stuff on the sports card side of things for CGC. SGC, dominant second place in that category. Obviously, PSA is in a class by themselves. And then Beckett kind of just sitting there at that 35K mark. On the TCG side, PSA, 556K. TCG is really carrying the weight for a lot of these companies. Look at the year over years on TCG down that slide. PSA is up 70% since last year. Now they're down 8% month over month, but year over year, up 70%. CGC, once again, asterisk that, up 156%. Beckett, up 100%. And SGC, now it's a smaller number, 17K, but a massive month for them with TCG and their new TCG pricing, up 275% year over year. If SGC can ever figure out the TCG side of things, and I don't say that in a negative way. They're clearly gaining traction in that space. But if they could ever just get to, 40% of their monthly volume is TCG and sports stays the same, they could really jump up on their month-over-month numbers. But that's a pretty big month for them, 17K on the TCG side of things. That, once again, continues to be the biggest thing. If it wasn't for TCG, I actually think grading would be hurting quite a bit, but TCG is really carrying the water here. So we've talked around it. Let's talk about these CGC numbers. Where in the hell are these numbers coming from? I talked to some Pokemon people, and I'm like, did some influencer tell all you guys to send all your cards to CGC? What in the hell is going on? And they basically said no. So I started digging around a little bit, trying to figure out where this was coming from. And when you look at percentage of items graded by era, this is where, I don't want to say red flags, but flags started popping up, because these are legitimate cards being added to the population report. I just couldn't figure out where the hell they were coming from. So you can see on the TCG side of things, most of the companies, a bulk of their percentage is in ultra modern, 2020s and newer. 57% for PSA. I'm sorry, 64% for PSA, 60% for Beckett. SGC is not broken down, but CGC is only 40% in the 2020s. And when you go down, you see these huge 20% numbers in the 2000s and 1990s, where everyone else is single-digit percentages. So once again, that made me go, I did a little bit more poking around. Now, CGC has not confirmed this. I have not reached out to them yet, but I think I figured out where at least some of these are going to. I don't know if this accounts for all the volume, but I'm speculating that at least, well, I know for sure at least a chunk of it went to this in some shape or form, and I'm wondering if there is a new version of it coming. So, like I said, did some sleuthing around, found this. This was a PWCC post from back in August. This is a mega mystery box, and you can see there it is 10 mystery CGC graded Pokemon cards per pack or per box. When you flip through these slides, guaranteed one Charizard, guaranteed one big hit per box. Right here. OMB series, Omega Mystery Box Series Alpha, so first run, has a box run of 5,000 with 10 individually slabbed cards per pack or per box. So that right there is 50,000 Pokemon cards. Right there. Like I said, I don't know if this attributes to all of it, but my theory is this was the alpha. This came out in August. You can see it's this is a PWCC, at least it appears to be a PWCC product. This is sold on PWCC's website. CGC, along with a lot of other grading companies, to be fair, has a partnership with PWCC for grading. So it makes sense that the two of them would be in cahoots together on this. So this is a $2.99. This is sold out. There is no buy button. It is gone. So these all sold out. Sold on August 29th. These are Elgato. So this is the alpha box. Makes me think there is a beta box coming. And that is where this is coming from. These numbers. They are probably actively taking raw cards and sending them in to be graded with CGC to go in a repack product. That is my guess. Once again, I have not confirmed this with CGC at time of recording. I'll probably reach out to them at some point in time to see if I can get confirmation on this. But I'm going with the 1 + 1 = 2 theory on this one. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck. But like I said, we know at least 50,000 CGC slabs ended up in the alpha series of these packs. Now, for that, I don't know if they went back and bought old ones, bought new ones. Don't know. But this massive spike in grading numbers makes me think there is a beta box coming. So I would not be surprised if sometime in the near future we see an Omega Mystery Box Series 2 Beta, whatever you want to call it, with CGC graded cards in it. And you notice this box prominently features blue labeled stuff, but the artwork here, or the imaging here, what do we see here? That is a new label, CGC Pristine. And at the time that this post was made, that was a fairly new occurrence, the new labels. So that's my theory on where this spike is coming from. So it is actually graded cards going on the pop report. It's not pop report maintenance. It's not shenanigans on the back end. My guess is there is something going on with this. Curious for your thoughts and comments down below on that one. Anyone have any experiences with this or run into this before? I never realized PWCC sold a repack product. And if anyone has any hot takes on a grading company partnering with a repacker, curious for those down below as well. So I think that is where, like I said, those numbers seem to be coming from. We will see. Time will tell. If all of a sudden we see a Series 2 and there's a post about it having 100,000 CGC slabs in it, we'll know. So that does, it's nice to see the big CGC number, and it's smart by them, if this is indeed the case, to get their slabs out in the market and in people's hands in that way. But I don't know that this number, this 272K or the 255K in TCG, is actually showing true consumer demand for their grading services. I think they're still doing pretty well, but that number might be artificially inflated if this indeed what is going on. So that's my guess. We'll see what happens. Time will tell if I'm right or not, or someone will tell me I'm an idiot. We'll find out. That really pretty much covers it. The numbers are the numbers. It seems like grading once again continues to increase. SGC, good month. Beckett, good month. CGC, a good month. Siri, I don't care what you have to say. PSA, pretty solid month. We'll see where things go for here as we kind of work our way through the holidays. There's a little bit of a lag time, obviously, on grading numbers, where things kind of hit the pop report, like a month and a half later, depending on the company. But we're heading into the holidays now. Money starts getting tighter. We will see if these dip at all. And we'll also see how aggressive the companies get with holiday specials. The thing with PSA is, if their submission volume ever slows down, all they have to do is pull the price lever, and they'll just immediately get a bunch of cards in the door. Now, at some point in time, you would think that trick would run out, but they're at $19 a card right now, I believe, or whatever they're at, and they're getting plenty of volume. Imagine if they went to $15 a card like SGC did. It'll just be interesting to see what happens if PSA ever has to get very aggressive on price. I don't know what their break-even point is, or even if they would want to grade at a slight loss. But if they ever really wanted to dig into the pricing war where they have a little gap in how many cards that they're getting in, it'll be very curious to see what would happen to the other grading companies' numbers. So that's all I got. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. We'll probably I didn't include it in this video because we kind of had the CGC discussion there. I should be getting follow-up numbers from Gemrate in regards to the emergent grading companies, the tags, the HGAs, the arena clubs, maybe a couple new ones thrown in on that. We'll do that in a separate video later this week or into this weekend where we kind of talk about those numbers. That is all I have for you, boys and girls. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.